Hello everybody, sorry for the late upload today. Yeah, God. Wow. Almost 2 o'clock in the morning, but I'm not tired. So yeah. Yeah, I've just been lazing about today. I've almost forgot to do this, but yeah. So this is my review of The Time of the Doctor, Super 7, episode 15, day 9. That sounds... No. Day 10. It's day 10. Wow, 10. 10 videos. I'm actually surprised. He's 10. I'm just going to try and go through the run through, try and get this to 15 minutes, because I've been looking at the analytics of the channel and how many people watch most of the video when it's a longer one, and it's 20 more minutes. Yeah. So the plot is basically the Doctor is finding this message coming from a planet that's going all throughout time, all time and space, and there's loads of enemy ships around it, like Daleks have been in all the Cybermen and that. And he's trying to find out what the message is. And also there's a Clara thing on Earth where she's asked him to be her boyfriend for the Christmas dinner or lunch. They never explicitly say. Yeah, basically the plot is the Doctor investigating. Yeah. The thing, and staying on this planet for hundreds of years, finding out this is Trenzor. You watched The Name of the Doctor 2 episodes ago. This is the planet he's meant to die on. Well, he's not meant to die on. He's not meant to answer the question on it, and that's why he had to die by the astronaut in CV6. Yeah. It's complicated, and that's going to be part of why I rank this episode, where I'm going to rank it. Basically, the Doctor stays there for hundreds of years, and he tricks Clara, Clara initially goes with him, but he tricks Clara twice to go home, because he needs to protect the planet till his last breath. Yeah, and he finds, and oh yeah, I should have said, when he initially goes down, he finds out that the message is coming from Gallifrey. It's in a different universe due to the events of the previous episode. And this is this crack in time and space, which if you've watched Series 5, God, I hate referring to all these previous plot points. Yeah. The Time Lords are trying to come back to this universe. The Doctor isn't trying, letting that happen unless he needs it. But if that happens, a full-fledged war will happen. So basically, the Doctor's just staying on this planet for hundreds of years until the final battle where Daleks come, and this is the second time that Clara's been tricked, and she's come back the second time, and she goes to the crack, and then because the message was Doctor Who, that was the entire sort of thing in CV6, trying to stop this question being asked on Trenzor, answered on Trenzor. So Clara tells who the Doctor is, not by name, because she says you've not been asking the right question. She tells him, because she knows him personally, she tells him what he is like personally, and yeah, and she asks them for help. And from that crack goes in the wall, in the tower, and he stayed there for 900 years, I don't know if I mentioned that. The crack then appears in the sky, and there's all these Daleks trying to kill people. The Doctor is trying to say, he said to this guy, this 20s or so, I have a planet that doesn't have anything. He doesn't want them to die, but he doesn't know what to do. And then the crack appears in the sky, and then energy goes into him, and he starts regenerating. and this is unprecedented. He says it's generation number 13, which counts the War Doctor, which is and the 10th Doctor. Like, him healing himself was the first part of the regeneration. It wasn't a full regeneration. Yeah, initially it's half, but the other half of the regeneration energy was used to create this double Doctor, the Crisis Doctor, and the Doctor died. It's like a full regeneration was used initially, but overall it was used, but not to heal. It was used to heal one incarnation and create a body duplicate. And people do get mixed up with that. The Meta Crisis is not in an incarnation of the Doctor, but because of the regeneration energy completely used up. If it was only half used, he would still have half of regeneration left, but he doesn't. And anyway, that's not the point. The point is the Doctor gets more regeneration energy and explodes all the Daleks to heck, and then basically it's just the Doctor and Clara's final scene. Well, the 11th Doctor's in Clara's final scene, and Matt Smith gives a beautiful speech, and then he sees all his drawings in the TARDIS, which aren't really there. He's just seen them, and a young Amelia, which honestly they shouldn't have seen her in the face, because that's not Clayton Blackwood, and it's really bugging me. Even her ginger hair was too pale in a way. It wasn't fiery enough. It doesn't look like the shade of Clayton Blackwood's hair. At least if they had done that and hide the face, I would have been convinced. Yeah, but then Karen Gillan shows up as an imaginary thing. The first face, this face, Warsaw, which they did with Rose in the End of Time Part 2. And then he gives his heartfelt speech about accepting change and that. Accepting change, but remembering who you were. All the things that happened to you, even if they're bad, they make you who you are. Then the Doctor changes, and that's pretty much it. It's the plot. Characters: the Doctor trying to understand what the message is and is investigating, also helping Clara with Christmas dinner, goes to church and goes down to Trenslow, finds out the question and the planet's name, because he doesn't initially know that. And yet he believes his grave is going to be out there in the future, because we saw the Trenslow. Even though it's Trenslow's timeline, the Doctor's timeline, they don't run parallel. One's going one direction, one's going the other, because the Doctor goes to Trenslow in its future after the events of the time of the Doctor, but in his timeline he hasn't done those events yet. That's anyway. Finds Planet and promises to defend it to his last breath. Keeps Clara out of trouble by setting the TARDIS to automatic, which sends her home. When she does return, we find that he stayed for 300 years. Sad that Handles is dying, the Sideman helmet that he had for the first 300 years, and it was a constant companion to him. In terms of how long the companions were with the Doctor, it's one of the longest, but in episodes it's the shortest. Thinks about leaving, but sees Barnable and takes Clara home again, despite him just saying the opposite to her. 600 years, more years have passed until they meet again on the sky. They have an emotional moment together. No plan, but is shocked when he finds out that he has more regenerations due to the Time Wars, due to the Time Wars. He tries to reassure Clara that he will be the same person despite his physical differences. She's seen me one last time, even though she isn't really there. Clara tries to look after the supposed destruction after the Doctor I didn't write this down properly. Tries to look after the Doctor after the supposed destruction of Gallery, but also tries to host a Christmas dinner because it's like a kerfuffle. It's left at home by the Doctor after she I didn't write that right either. left at home by the Doctor after he tricks him. It's learned that he has stayed 300 years and promises the Doctor to not trick her again, but it happens less than a minute after. She asks the Time Lords for help whilst telling them who she thinks the Doctor is, not by name but by person, but by name, someone who knows him well and doesn't want him to change, despite her probably being one of the most. And if you think about it, because she's met the most incarnations of the Doctor, right? Yeah, that's based on us in initially. Yeah, she's seen all the Doctor incarnations of the Doctor in the Doctor's time stream, and she's met War Tenant, which is one she's probably had met. Like, we've seen her, like not the ones that the first Doctor, the 11th Doctor, a few times, 10th in the War. First, 11, 10, or 12, 1, 2, 3, 5. Just tying with Sarah. But clever, has seen every incarnation of the Doctor up to Matt Smith. Yeah. That's pretty much all the notes I could gather from it, because like Tashlin was the only other character of reasonable. Yeah. But not enough. Yeah. One of the things about this episode, I think there are good moments in it. There are good moments. It's not a good episode overall. The thing is, when I was watching it, there was what they were doing, they were trying to explain the plot points of series 5 and 6. Which, no. It wasn't until earlier this year when, I don't know if all episodes were on iPlayer at this point. No, well, before this point, but they were at this point. It was earlier this year. It was only then I understood certain parts of properly what was going on, because they never fully explained it in series 5 and 6. They just said, that's most of it, but there's still a little bit more. Yeah. No, it just makes it worse, because not only are you over-reliant on past episodes, it shows you're incapable to write an emotional send-off for a character. Which is weird, because Moffat does insanely better with the 12th Doctor, and even with a song, with a character of his own creating. Much better than in this episode. And both of them two are Festive special, so I can address them further down the line. Yeah, and I was just thinking, when I was watching this, they were trying to explain. They explained the series. Yeah, when I watched this at the beginning of the year, I was like, right now I finally understand this, because of what they should be saying. But yeah, I think it's just the way they're explaining it as well. It's too clever, so that we don't understand it. I mean, it's fine if it was only something that was only mentioned in 1 or 2 episodes. That's fine. But with this being a series along arc, 2 arcs involved, not just 1, but 2, and they try to discuss it, but it doesn't go really well. So I'd rank this episode either a 5 or a 6 out of 10. I'm trying to think. I don't remember what I put on 5. I think I'll put it on a 6, just because of the last 10 or so minutes. Yeah, because the last 10 or 15 minutes of the episode are good. They're really good, actually. I think Matt Smith isn't remembered for his speeches like Capaldi is. Capaldi is known as a Doctor with all the speeches, left, right, and centre. But Matt Smith's one is a really good one. Yeah. Maybe I say that final speech is immigrating into the new Doctor's mind and personality. Right. This stuff I like this. Let's continue this. Clap. Yes, I'd say that this is a 6 out of 10. Now, since this is a final episode for a Doctor, I've got to rank this. Compared to the other ones, so I'll be read to my notes again. So, I think this. Oh, I said this one is 6. I think there's only been 1 underneath it. So the one. Yeah, that sounds. I'm just going through my notes just to make sure. Okay. Whew. So the bottom for this is the 11th Doctor Festive Specials is the Doctor, the Widow, and the Wardrobe at 5 out of 10. The one for this review, The Time of the Doctor at 6 out of 10. Christmas Carol 9 out of 10. And this one 10 out of 10. That sounds right. 10, 11, 12, 13, 4. Yeah, that sounds right. So, Doctor Royal Wardrobe at 5, Time of the Doctor at 6. Time of the Doctor at 6, yeah. Christmas Carol at 9. I just know mine at 7. 7? 10. I need some work in there. So, that should be me. Thank you for watching these videos. And if you're interested in these reviews, please subscribe and put your notification bell on for any upcoming videos. They should be coming daily until 2nd of January, then after that I'll find out what I'll be doing. I'm not entirely sure yet. So that's it. Next time is Last Christmas. Series 9, episode 6, or Zero Review America. So, yeah. Thank you so much for having me. Adios. And Mrs. Scarlow, out.